Alright, let's start the week by looking at a Handbook. This is issue 5 of the Deluxe edition, the issue that comes before the last one I looked at. Full cover here, Jason Bernhardt, Hulk, Hawkeye, Harvey the Duck. Yeah, profiles for characters in the Marvel Universe. Credits. I should show these more often so people can pause and see what artist does what. One of our first profiles is for Etrigan the Demon from the Defenders. New art is by Mark Beaver, who did his miniseries. Great character. One of the Powder Puff Pack. Aren't they so adorable? This guy looks a lot like Etrigan the Demon from the Defenders. Desard from the New Gods. A bad guy in SeaWorld Attacks. The 1989 crossover SeaWorld Attacks. He was introduced in the 80s New Gods maxi series by Peter Gilbert, who didn't even finish the series. Simon Waltonson wrote the last few issues, and I always thought he should have been writing and drawing it from the start. Ghost Driver, from back when he drove a horse. Great design, let's throw that out there. Monel from the Imperial Guard, Guardian Monel. His art is by one of the most famous Superman artists. You always had characters like this in the Andy books. Doesn't matter what era of Andy books you look at, flavours of the month. This was a magician that was in Steve Engletine's Vision and Charlotte Witch series. Never appeared outside of it. Gets a full page profile in this round of Andy books. Glory Hole. I don't think I have ever actually read a comic with Glory Hole appearing. I probably have. I know he's in some Hulk stories. I'll have read one. I think David Peter used them once. Or Bill Bungalow. One of them. Or both of them. Yeah, I remember the cover now. Hulk. He's like at the bottom. And then the rest is all rainbow colour. And there's another cover as well. Glory Hole. He's shooting a rainbow out of his fingers, I think. And it's wrapping around Hulk. Gods. An entry on gods. And I don't think this is very helpful. And this doesn't really have enough space to really fairly cover them all. If you want this expanded on, they did a Thor and Hercules Man encyclopedia in 2010. It wasn't an Andy book, it was Andy book-ish. But it was its own thing, and it dealt with all the pantheons, and it had all new artwork. And it's actually really expensive to get now. I think it's like 30 or maybe 50 quid. The Andy books and supplementary materials like that from the 2000s, they tend to go for quite a bit of money. Atlas Man, future member of the Thunderbals, great character, great villain as well, Gorgonzola from the Unhumans. Cannot wait for his upcoming movie. Jeff Goldblum, star of Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, and co-star of Jurassic Park. He has big hands. The glorious ladies of wrestling. The only one of real note is Song Girl, The rest either died or never appeared again. I mean, Vavavoom and Butterball, I think it's inaccurate to say that they ever appeared in the first place. Count Gravity, another character explored in Thunderballs. We have had Atlas Man, Song Girl, and now Count Gravity. Quite an entourage. There's always one profile where I cannot muster up any emotion whatsoever. Was this before or after he became Titanium Man before? And he gets 2 pages. Great Gargoyle on the other hand. Simon Waltonson profile art for him. And then we have the Galactical Guardians. In the first series, they all received individual profiles, but they hadn't appeared in the 2 to 3 years since, and so they are all demoted to a team entry like this. They won't appear again until they're ongoing in the 90s. Guard Man. And this one I thought was ridiculous because 3 pages. Admittedly, a lot of it is just talking about the armour, but it still seems a bit much. Travelling Community Moth. She first appeared in Spider-Girl issue 10. She was created by Marky Mark G and Carmine Falcone. She went on to be a member of Thunderballs during the time Song Girl led the team. One of the reasons I wanted to look at this at the start of the week was because it can give me prompts or reminders for comics to look at, and this is one of those. Henry Guy Ritchie. I always thought his forehead is massive on this art. Like giant. You could land a 747 on his head. Sam Rockwell. They love wasting their castings, don't they? Pillock, Cyclists, Dickhead Brother. Poor Miss Magnets. She cannot even get away from him in the profiles. Hawkeye, and his picture is against the rules. He's covering his face. That wasn't following the official guidelines for Handbook artwork. Now, do you want to have your mind blown? The person who broke the rules is the person who made the rules. This art is by Marky Mark J, and it doesn't follow his guidelines. Now, in the paperback reprint from 87, they replace it with new art by Mark Brigay. Let's put them side by side and ask, which do you prefer? Hawkeye gets loads of pages. Most of it is just his toys. 4 pages for Hawkeye. He gets more pages than Hulk. What a country. Kate Blanchett, Simon Waltonson art again. Egyptian gods. We get smaller profiles for them. Horus and Seth. I have got Seth's first appearance. I should review that as well. See, this is useful. Bondage Club, Emma Frosty's, wonderful. I am also a big fan of how unkind the art is to Kevin Bacon's Airline. Then we have Emma Frosty's students from the Boston Academy. Thunderpath 2 and Emplate are the only ones that really go on to further success. The rest all die horrible deaths. But Tarot, she comes back in excellent force. Satan's Son, Mark Satan's Son. This was when he was retired from superheroics and he was just an occult expert they would call in to perform exorcisms and share knowledge. I wish it stayed that way. There he is, costumed. Art is from the original series. Actually, add on. I have it out, I might as well show it. They changed the old Satan's Son art to make it his main picture in his new costume. And I hate this costume, but fuck me, that is a lot of tweaking an image. Like, side by side, it's so different. You might as well have gotten a new one done. We get some new pictures inserted. I think this one was used in the original Handbooks as well. And we have 2 new pieces there, both from West Coast Avengers 15, I think it would be, 14. They also dumped this picture here. And here is the cat, also retired, married to Satan's Son. I wish it stayed that way as well. Again, we have art of her in costume from the previous series. Switched it around for the reprint. By the way, these paperbacks, love them. Really good quality paper for them. Of course, reorganising them and putting them in costume again means that the cat and Satan's Son now have the Bondage Club and Emma Frosty's students between their profiles. I don't think that's even worth including. Quiznos, I would argue, Marvel's first trans character. Had a Todger, then she got rid of it. Hercules Man, 2 pages. Classic, boisterous Jason Byrne picture. Digivolutionary, great character. Gobbler, and this is before his identity had been revealed and ruined. I think we can all agree. We would have preferred Gobbler if it stayed true to this profile, and his real name remained unknown. Harvey the Duck. I am sick of people who say they love that movie. Fuck off, dear. Oh, but he has sex with a woman called Beverly. Fuck off, Stu. You don't really like it. Hulk. And it is of interest because it reflects Jason Byrne's direction with Hulk, which he didn't get to do because he stormed off after 6 issues. He was going to have Hulk go all Silver Age style again, with the trunks instead of trousers, with the Jack Quimby style face again. Never happened. Al Milburn took over and made him grey instead. When you think about the fact they updated Satan's Son, and later on No Man and Aunt Gordon, they updated their profiles to reflect changes, but they didn't update Hulk, who was grey. And that is, as they say in English, the Handbook. Who is your favourite character or team profiled within? Not characters within a team. I cannot say Emma Frosty's. That is cheating. Who was your favourite profiled person or team in here? I bet it is a Hulk one. Atlas Man is pretty good. Etrigan the Demon. Hercules Man, always fun. Some good ones in here. Count Gravity, Digivolutionary, Great Gargoyle. Nice B-tier characters there. Even Desards. I don't mind Desards. I'll give this Handbook a 7 thumbs up rating.